Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along, you know that in my last video, I walked you through how we measured the area of our room for this amazing wallpaper mural. Well, today I'm going to walk you through the process of how we actually hung it up. It was a bit of a journey, but I'm super excited to share the steps with you. So in my last video, I showed you how we measured each area, each wall of this room for the wallpaper. You can go back and watch that video for all those details. And after we got those measurements, I took them and created these layouts in Canva to visualize how the wallpaper would fit in the room. Here's a sneak peek of what that looked like. So then I sent it over to the designer and she sent me back these mock-ups. I'll link her website and more details about the wallpaper below, and they're also on my blog. The designer took the measurements and mocked up exactly how the wallpaper would look when we applied it to our walls. We got that digital preview and made sure that everything lined up with the space that we had. Once we were happy with the layout, we moved on to the next step. She asked us what type of wallpaper we wanted to use, and there are a few options that she offers, but we decided on traditional non-woven wallpaper for a smooth, durable finish. Also thought that traditional wallpaper tends to go on easier onto walls than peel and stick, and given that this is a mural where things have to be precise and you only get one shot at each panel, we thought that wallpaper that was traditional would be a little bit of a safer bet. So when the wallpaper arrived, first thing that we did was we took each one of the panels out and matched it to its spot in the room using that mock-up that she had sent. It was really helpful to have that visual guide so we knew exactly where each one of the panels went, again, because you only get one shot at it. Mike also took the time to label the backs of each panel with something that made sense to him so we wouldn't mix it up when it was time to install it. So we did that on a Friday night, and then Saturday the next day, Mike started the installation process. And let me tell you, it wasn't as simple as just putting wallpaper on the wall. You definitely have to get it correct, and you definitely took some measures just in our experience of installing wallpaper in the past to make sure that this one went on looking super professional and well done. Here you can see Mike applying the glue to the backs of the panels. This is a technique called booking, where you apply the glue and then fold it up kind of like a book and then let it sit for a few minutes. We actually figured out eventually that this wallpaper doesn't really need it to sit on it as much as previous wallpapers that we've done before, so you don't really have to let it sit for a few minutes in the booking phase. You can go ahead and apply it to the walls a bit. Here Mike started with the tiniest little rectangle in the room, but you can see how this wallpaper was cut by the designer. It's in more of like rectangular strips instead of the long vertical strips that wallpaper usually tends to come in. This one's been a little different because usually wallpaper comes in about 30-inch wide strips, and then it's however high your ceiling goes. But the way that this shop did it, I kind of prefer it. It's a lot more wider. Like this one above the door was one strip. Okay, so just one long rectangle. Whereas other wallpapers that aren't murals, you may have had this be like 3 different sections.
A lot of waste.
A lot of waste, yeah. So I like how they did this. This is all one pan. This is all one panel here, or 2, Mike? This is 2.
There's one that
Yeah.
spans the corner.
There's a seam right here, which you can't tell. He's doing a good job. Yeah. One thing we did note is that it was maybe a 1/2 inch too tall at the top. So Mike's just been going around with a ruler and an X-Acto knife and just trimming off just a little bit. I'd rather have it be too long than too short. So I think that's probably what they did there.
Well, it's also that our walls
Yeah.
size.
Right. If you have an old house like us, you probably have.
Off by about a quarter of an inch, give or take.
Yeah, you have issues with your walls being not straight. Although our house in Florida was a lot newer and it also had very wavy walls. But yeah, I guess we should note we painted these walls right before we moved in this summer, so about 3 months ago. I would say I would not apply this onto straight drywall without a primer
No, you should.
on it. Yeah, you should definitely prime it before. And I would also let it cure. Yeah, I wouldn't like prime it and then apply this the next day either. So this is the technique you've landed on, is applying the glue to the wallpaper. Then he's doing another coat on the wall. I hope you have enough glue. You should. That looks great. Oh, I'm glad that tree landed right there. I bet she did that on purpose. That looks good. Definitely helps to have lower ceilings.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think you'd be able to do that in a full wall.
Yeah, like that right there. If this were peel and stick, would have been, it would have been over. Wow, I love it.
Also, not a lot of like full.
No. That looks great. Just a damp sponge.
Yeah. Make sure there's no water or air bubbles in behind it. Top corner is gonna need a
Little extra glue.
extra glue.
Yeah, it might be a good thing to have like a little chip brush on hand for applying little extra spots of glue.
This works pretty well too.
Mike's using his finger. I know, but I think there's a tool for every job. Then your fingers don't get glue on them.
Who is the boy?
All right, here's the room at the end of the day. Mike finished it all in one day. I think breaking it into 2 days, the first day going through your panels, numbering them, and then the second day starting early and applying it is the way to go. I just love all the colors of it and how it has this really beautiful old world feel to it in sort of a modern way. We're going to be continuing to renovate this room. I've got a dining room table on the way, some new chairs, and kind of deciding what we want to do with that closet. Definitely like a buffet area over there too, but not sure if we want custom cabinetry or to find a vintage piece that would go well in there. But I just love the way that this room is coming together. And I hope this tutorial, and even though it was a little lengthy, I hope it helped you if you are also considering wallpaper mural for your home. You can also watch our scullery where we installed this wallpaper as well in our kitchen. If you're considering it for a smaller space, it looks beautiful in a small space too. It gives the room depth and makes it feel so much more wide. So definitely check out that video, and thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already to the channel for more updates to our colonial home.